Cindy, do you want to do any kind of intro, or you want us to just take it and run with it?
Just take it and run with it.
Okay, so welcome. Thanks for joining. My name is James. I am the head of the Soundboard team at Edge Theory. Our goal today is to help you have some good perspective on the value of having a presence on social media, not only to be an authority to your audience, but also to help you grow your business. We're going to talk a little bit about where the Soundboard fits into that, and you can make a decision on if you think that's good for your business. I personally believe it will be. And then if we have time, I'm going to talk through some tools that are out there that can make your life even easier if you combine them with the content that Soundboard provides. So just to give you the 90-second overview of Edge Theory, we're a conversation media company. We're based out of Central Mississippi. We're a couple of hours south of Juice Plus corporate headquarters in Memphis. And we have been running the Soundboard for over 2 years, but its current iteration that I'm going to show you today, we launched at this past fall conference and are now in the process of getting the word out about it, and also working with corporate on putting together a really robust suite of social media training tools for the field. And so more information will be coming out about that around conference time. So we're excited about that. And just on a side note, we do have here. We have we have a fun Apple Watch giveaway. I know we don't have a lot of people on the call today, which is fine. But if you use this particular link to sign up, the legacy.juiceplus.vip, we will put you in a smaller bucket. We give away at least one Apple Watch every month. You can sign up through your virtual office. There's a link there, or our Facebook page. But if you use this one, we can track you back to today's webinar, and we'll have a little bit of a smaller drawing bucket to pull from. So fun little side note there. All right, so when we're thinking about social media, we want to think of it in terms of you've got to have the know-how to mechanically run the platforms. You've got to have the know-how of where to find good content, and you got to know how you come across to other people. And then you got to figure out who those people are that you're talking to so that you can speak to them where they are and in their interests. And all those things will lead to conversation, which in turn, in time can lead to business growth. So when we're thinking through what we can offer as far as education goes, we want to not only provide a call like this where we give you the overview, but again, connect you with the other resources that we have in place so that you can have that comfort level on these different platforms. From a content perspective, we're taking Jay Martin's charge very seriously that he gave at Fall Conference last year, which was how do we tell a better healthy living story? The content that we provide is not branded Juice Plus. Actually, if you're on the Soundboard, you noticed I just got permission from Mitra Ray yesterday. I had a nice long call with her to put Shred 10 content on the Soundboard, but there's I know that that's kind of its own side conversation almost. But 99% of what you find is just healthy living content, whole fruits and veggies, all that kind of stuff. And we don't mention the brand. But what we do is when we're tweeting for you, which is what the Soundboard can do for you, frequently we do link people to the specific Juice Plus site. So keep that in mind. We want to teach you how to put your best foot forward. You are not only an enthusiast of healthy living, you are a whole person. So how does that come across on social? We want you to be thinking along those lines. How do you take the technology that's out there and find who's looking for healthy living content? How do you connect with them? Let's leverage the power of this technology to make our lives easier, which in turn will all lead to conversation. And I hear so many people say, well, James, the Soundboard's really cool. I'm posting content. People are liking it or retweeting it or sharing it. What do I do? What's the etiquette? So that's the last piece of this is how do you deal with all these conversations that come through, which in turn will, ideally help you grow your business. And it's exactly Cindy's point a moment ago was a lot of you all have started to exhaust your own network of warm markets. So how do we take these social media platforms and turn them into a warm market? which is where we want. All right, so let's do a major compare and contrast here, because Facebook and Twitter, of course, are the biggies. And so many people say, well, I've already got a Facebook presence. I don't need a Twitter presence. My audience isn't there, or it's the same thing, or it's weird, and I don't want to do it. So Facebook, of course, you're all on it. It's really good at connecting you with people that you already have relationships with, all right? We don't typically get lots and lots of generic, random Facebook friend requests from people. Facebook is the backyard barbecue where you invite your friends and maybe some friends of friends come. But strangers don't walk in off the street and grab a plate and sit down at the backyard barbecue, okay? So when you make a post about healthy living on Facebook, it's not out of line with who people know you to be. But at the same time, a lot of times, especially with the way that Facebook recycles posts, you're speaking to the same people over and over. So how do we break outside of that Facebook friend network home feed bubble and put good content out there? So we will talk through a lot of that. Twitter, on the other hand, is a very different animal. Okay, yes, it is a social media platform in that you have followers, but don't use followers as your only metric of success, because the platform is totally flat and totally public, and everything you do on the platform can be seen by everybody else on the platform. And that's a really good thing. It's why some people get in trouble on Twitter because they don't know what they're doing, but it's a really good thing because it helps you connect with people who don't know who you are, and they probably don't know what Juice Plus is, but they are looking for healthy living advice. They're looking for fitness tips. They're looking for, accurate information. One of the things that, of course, is done so poorly on social media is the weight loss and weight control conversation, and people are starving for good information about that. Let's go redeem that conversation and bring it back to a place of making no false claims or hype, but it's connecting people with good nutrition information. So let me show you how this works. From a Twitter perspective, we're on Twitter here. Of course, when you make a Facebook post, everybody knows that, you ideally want people to like, comment, and share it, which gives it, a continued life. And as those posts pick up those kind of engagements, it keeps getting put at the top of people's feeds, and we want that to happen. But on Twitter, I want to show you this because of the way that the platform works. And if you're, a hashtag user, you're familiar with the fact that a hashtag is a conversation unifying system. And so when you're using hashtags well, and when Soundboard's tweeting for you, we're doing this for you, it's helping you get connected to these larger conversations. Okay, so I pointed this out. I did a search for hashtag healthy. And so I'm finding all these tweets that mention this hashtag, regardless of whether or not I follow any of these people on the platform. But Rachel here is a Soundboard subscriber. All right, Rachel is has a decent size account. Okay, she's got about 1,300 followers, and she's a mom and a physician's assistant and a trainer and into nutrition and gymnastics. Okay. Now, this tweet was created by my team, and we tweeted it out for her, all right? And she got a like on this tweet from Lifestyle World, which is Healthy Lifestyle News, okay? So she's made a connection there. But the thing I want to show you is when Rachel publishes this tweet, she's not only talking to this group of people, because she's talking to everybody who's using this hashtag and making this search. All right, so what Rachel has to say as a person with 1,300 followers is just as valuable. I found an account down here that had a lot. So a health blog, she's 2 tweets away from a health blog here that has 167,000 followers, right? So followers are almost immaterial on Twitter because of the way that hashtags connect you with these larger conversations. So this is why it's so great to have a good presence on the platform. The other thing that people are less familiar with is that Google and Twitter, if you follow Silicon Valley News at all, settled their beef a couple of years ago, and Google has total back-end access to Twitter. So we can take an individual and sit in an individual's shoes who hates Twitter or thinks it's stupid or can't be bothered and doesn't have an account and never gets on the platform, but everybody uses Google. And when you Google something, of course, we all know that it goes out and finds websites and brings those back. But it's also scraping all of Twitter all the time. And so when people search for terms or hashtags on Google, a lot of times it will bring back tweets. And so people can see your stuff, get connected with your stuff, even if they're not on the platform due to the portable nature of tweets. So I think this is a really powerful way to see the distribution capability of Twitter without just thinking that, followers are the only way to get seen. From a mechanical perspective, Twitter allows auto posting. It allows outside systems to auto post through the platform. So if you sign up for Soundboard, we can tweet for you through your handle to your followers and, of course, to the larger Twitter platform. Since everything's automatic, we know that people have different perspectives about dairy and meat and things like that. So we don't put any of that kind of content out through your automatic Twitter feed because we don't want it to not sound like you. But it's all more, healthy fruits and vegetables, whole food nutrition, fitness. There's a little bit of business articles mixed in there. And then again, many of the links go back to your specific Juice Plus site. Now the Facebook side of this, Facebook being the major platform, but the way that the Soundboard behaves is that Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google Plus, none of those platforms allow for auto posting. So what we have built with the Soundboard is a way for you to have quick and easy access to the content that you can then go post with just a few clicks to these platforms whenever you want to. And so you've got good looking content going out as frequently or infrequently as you would like. Okay, so let's hop over here to the Soundboard and I'll show you how this works. So we're at the link you keep seeing, the legacy.juiceplus.vip. And of course, you can go watch the videos and stuff if you want to. There's a walkthrough video here. We've got some testimonials. Everything is optimized for mobile, etc. But on the pricing, just pointing this out real quick. Every plan is a 10-day free trial, so kick the tires, see what you think. It's a month-to-month commitment after that. There's no long-term commitment. So what you're getting here is the $5 a month for Twitter is just us auto-posting tweets for you. They go out at least 2 to 3 times a day, every single day, and we'll also get you connected with some ongoing social media training, like I said at the beginning, if you want to participate in that. Most people choose this or this because most people do want to have access to the content that they can post across these other platforms. So this $10 a month, even though it says Facebook, it actually works with all these platforms. It just does not include the automatic Twitter posting. And then this includes the access to the content that you pick from and you share, and it includes auto posting. So that's what the $15 is. When you hit try it now, it's going to bring up a box, and we just need your name and your email and then your website. And here you can either put your Juice Plus site, or you can put, if you are one of these folks that Juice Plus is a part of your offering and you're building a larger brand, then you can put that site there. Whatever you put will promote in your tweets. And then when you hit create your account, it'll ask for your credit card and you're off and running. Okay, so once you do that, here's what you're going to have access to. And again, this is all optimized for mobile. Everything works great on your phone. And I'll show you a few phone features in a moment here that are only available on the phone. We update this at least every business day and sometimes on the weekends, but we're constantly looking for authoritative, compliant, healthy living content. We have been working with corporate and Meredith Martin and Katie Maxwell and Ben Tacker on the marketing team at the home office for years now, and we're very cognizant of what you are and are not allowed to say. And so we're working really hard to have compliant content. So you can, just be rest assured that you're going to be on brand as you're sending this stuff out. So find an article that you're interested in. You pick the article. This one's a good one. We have here, once you click on this, we actually host the entire article here if you want to read it. A lot of people said they didn't like leaving the soundboard to have to preview the article, which you can do if you click on this. And then you can scroll down here, and we've got some share buttons here at the bottom. All right, so we've got Facebook, your personal Facebook profile. This button is groups, so you can post on a Facebook business page, in a group that you are a part of or that you manage, or on a business page that you manage. Of course, if you want to tweet out in addition to what Soundboard is doing, feel free. Or if you do the $10 plan and we don't auto-tweet for you, you can still use this to tweet. LinkedIn, of course, is good for business-minded articles. If you have email groups set up for your customers, this is a great way to touch them with just, hey, saw this article, was thinking about you. If you've got your customers organized by busy moms or your runners or your CrossFit or whoever, you can send them kind of thematical emails based on that. And then, of course, Pinterest is the visual side of things, and we do have a lot of images on the soundboard that you can use. We'll get to these two in a moment. So we have, in addition to the article that you can share, we're also providing recommended or suggested text to accompany your post. All right. So we all buy greeting cards because we don't know what to say to our loved ones on their birthday. Think of these phrases as the middle of the greeting card, right? So this is what you can use it if you choose to. You can change it up. You can add to it, but it's there to get you started to have something to say. So when you find a phrase that you like, you hit one of these buttons. We're going to share on Facebook. It's going to bring up, I'm on desktop, so it just brought up a pop-up. If you're on mobile, it'll switch you over to Facebook. And we're going to paste in that suggested text. If you want to add something, you can. And then we click and post. So in 3 clicks, 90 seconds, we've got a good looking post going out on our profile. Same thing with a business page. If you want to, what would be a good one for our ways to stay healthy when you're on the go? All right, so we've put our 3 most popular share buttons up here at the top, Facebook, Twitter, and Buffer. If you want one of the other ones, you can just hit the plus button and it'll take you straight to the bottom. And we have Facebook for groups here. So when you bring this up, it's a little different share widget you can share on your own timeline. You can send it directly to a friend. In a group that you manage, that would be less applicable. Share on a page that you manage. So if you've got a business page, I have way too many business pages. Works the same way, just a couple clicks, boom, out and done. Now, a lot of people say, hey, James, this is really cool, but it's not always me to post articles. I want images. And so we build a lot of images in-house. So a lot of these that say image only, these are actually from missiondrivenmodel.info, if you're familiar with that site. March is #ProjectGreen, so we've got some good-looking images from them. And then we've got some images. We have some funny GIFs sometime. Ron Swanson trying to eat a banana. And then a lot of these that you see where it's quotes and memes, we build these in-house, so use them however you want. If you want to download them or whatever, you can. But they work the same way. We share on Facebook, paste in that hashtag. You can drop in your link to your Juice Plus site here if you wanted to and post, and that's out and done. So this is the part where people say, okay, this is really cool, James, but I thought you told me you were going to save me time. And, of course, the goal of the soundboard is to give you one place where you can come and find what you need. But you still have to come here every day because Facebook doesn't allow auto-posting. But there is a solution to this. If you are familiar with Buffer and Hootsuite, Buffer and Hootsuite are both free.com services, and they both have free apps that work great on your phone. I recommend Buffer if you're just getting started. It's much more user-friendly. Hootsuite is super technical. But let's hop over here to Buffer, and I'll show you how it works because this is really cool. when you combine this with the soundboard.
I just want to stop James for 1 second because I know you're introducing so many great new things. We currently do host a weekly training series where each week he's taking one of these topics and digging in deeper on each of them. So if you want to learn more about buffer, you can jump into that. It's an open training series to do at any point. The ones that we have done in the past are all posted. Don't you post all the videos on
the
Facebook? So I know he's just he's doing a high level overview right now. And as we learn more about what you guys need, we can try to get you to those places.
Yeah, and I am kind of moving fast here because I remembered y'all have a hard stop in about 20 or 18 minutes or so. So I was trying to leave some time for some questions, but please speak up if I'm confusing you or moving too fast. So we're looking at Buffer, and what Buffer does is it lets you connect multiple social media profiles to one hub, which is kind of nice. But the killer feature is that you can schedule stuff out ahead of time. So when you're on the soundboard, you can pick an article, and you want to post it, of course, during peak Facebook hours, which is typically 6 to 8 a.m. and about 6 to 9 p.m., whatever your time zone is. So when you click on this Buffer, it's going to bring up your Buffer scheduler, and you'll notice that I've got my Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn all connected here. So you can send the same message out across multiple platforms, which is a great idea. And then you've got the way that it's going to look on the different platforms. So here's how it's going to look on Twitter. You can include an image if you want. You actually have to manually copy and paste the text for Facebook. And I've read that little why you have to do that before, and it's not a good explanation, but you have to. So you can paste in this, and then you've got a good looking article to go out on LinkedIn as well. Now, here's the killer feature, schedule posts. So instead of this going out right now, we can schedule this to go out. We want this to be peak time. So let's be at the top of people's feeds as everybody's staring at their phones tonight. So let's schedule that. And it takes a moment to add to our cycle, and then it's going to bring us right back to Soundboard. And then we can go find another article and schedule something for tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. And so if you'll budget, 20 minutes every 4 or 5 days, combining Buffer with Soundboard, what you're going to find is that you're not going to have to think about posting every day because now it's taken care of for you. And so your job at this point with social is make sure your notifications are turned on your phone for all the platforms that you're on, and just react to those notifications as they happen. Don't let, if somebody follows you, don't let a week go past before you, acknowledge them or follow them back. And so as we're updating the content for you every day, when you do come back in a couple of days and you're ready to post more, you have lots and lots of choices. And we've been updating this since going on a year. So there's a lot of stuff. And we definitely look for stuff that's evergreen, because a healthy exercise means it lasts and lasts.
I know, I was just asking questions.
But, a good article about drinking water is applicable a year ago and it's applicable now. But we have lots of stuff that you can search for. If you've got folks that are vegan, or if you're vegan, or, if you want to search for things by topic, you can do so. Now, I'm going to stop the share here on my desktop, and I'm going to hop over to mobile because I want you to see how this functions on that, because there's a couple of unique and cool features. So first thing is that when you're logged into the Soundboard, what you can do is, you can bookmark the page so that it will stay on your desktop like an app. And I will just be the first to admit that we are confusing people. We named this link Soundboard-app. You don't go and download an app. It's all through the website. But if at the bottom of the screen here where the box is with the arrow coming out, if you tap that, and then the bottom right choice says add to home screen. If you do that, and then you can name it whatever you want, it comes up default as Link Social Media Soundboard. When you do that, you see the bottom right icon of mine there that's kind of white. That is the web page now, and it's just always there, and I can hit it and go to it whenever I need to. And it'll keep you logged in. So when we go here, we can pick an article, and let's pick out gluten got your gut. No, that doesn't have a good image with it. Here's a Mayo Clinic minute. When your workout doesn't work. All right, so I want to hit the plus button because I want to go down to the bottom, and we have a button here that's not available on desktop that says text. So let's hit text, and this is going to bring up our texting app, and I'm going to text this to my dear friend Carrie Amber Reed, who needs to know about this. All right. Now, what happened is the suggested text got turned into a text message, and then you have a good-looking article that renders in the messaging just like it does on Facebook. And then, of course, you could follow that up with, hey, saw this and was thinking about you. So we really see this as a pretty cool customer retention, touch people with something that they're interested in or that you know about them as a way to say, hey, I was thinking about you, saw this. And just move on. And I think that's a great way to touch customers with interest and not just hey, it's time to re-up. That's pretty cool. There's another cool feature. Because Instagram does not allow for outside apps to post to it. Here's the workaround for that. Since we do have all these great images, let's search for an image. And some of these articles are popping up because they have the word image in them. But we've got some good-looking Project Green images here. So let's click on one of these. At the top there where it says hashtag Project Green -- let love grow, that is actually a link to the image itself. So let's do that, and that brings us to the image. And now we're going to tap and hold, and we're going to save our image. And that saves it to our camera roll. And now, when we go create an Instagram post, it's right there in front of my favorite truck in the whole world. So now we have the ability to put up these good-looking, meme-style images, and then Instagram is even really good about telling you what hashtags are popping. And so if you start typing a hashtag, it'll bring up all these choices, and you can pick one that's really popular. Hashtag healthy food, big time, and then it's out and gone. So pretty cool way to get around Instagram's intentional limitation, trying to keep you trapped to your mobile device there.
James, I have a question.
Please.
Can you just, in a nutshell, remind me how I got to the mobile app? Was that under Buffer?
How you got to the mobile soundboard link?
Yeah, in other words, when you went to the mobile and you were showing us how to put that, the icon on our iPhone?
Yes, on your browser, just go to the link juiceplus.vip. And that
got it.
will lead you to the sign-in page.
Okay, perfect.
And so I want to just spend a moment talking about a couple of topics that Cindy brought up before everybody got on. And one of those is, big picture, how do you prospect on these platforms? And like Carrie said, we do have some more in-depth trainings on these topics. But big picture is, Twitter is such a great place to meet and connect with new people who share the same interests that you do. And since you only have 140 characters, you've got to keep it light and fast and easy. And so go out and search for something that you're interested in, not just healthy living, and, strike up a conversation with somebody. You can even just do searches for hashtags like this is National Nutrition Month. And we're certainly including Soundboard subscribers in that conversation. But there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of dietitians talking on Twitter right now about hashtag National Nutrition Month. So a great way to ask questions, get the ball rolling with people. On Facebook, we're also used to just consuming out of our feed and being stuck with our existing friend network. But Facebook has, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Facebook has some pretty cool ways to connect with new people because there are these open topical groups. So just search for anything that you're interested in, and you can find it by group. So at the top here, I just typed in gluten-free recipes. You've got all this stuff here. If you click on groups, this is going to bring up all these groups where there's thousands and thousands of people who are interested in this topic. You can click join. Of course, the admin's going to add you within hours because these are huge groups. And you can start to post into these groups with the soundboard, with that content, contribute to the conversation, comment on other people's posts, and make new friends, around. Here's an incredible warm market. I mean, just in the first, you got 40,000 people on this page. You got almost 50,000 people on this page right here who are interested in this. And you have something to say, and you have the content to share. And so think about, budgeting 15 minutes a week or 15 minutes twice a week to joining these groups and posting into them and making these new connections. Because you can any topic that you can think of that's healthy living related, somebody's got a huge group going on Facebook already that you can post into. And the great thing about this is when you make the post in the group, everybody in the group is going to see it versus, especially if you make a post to a business page, hardly anybody sees it. So that's a really great, prospecting tip. So keep that in mind. And the other thing that Cindy brought up is, of course, the big thing, does it work? Does it work? I encourage you to check out our Healthy Living Soundboard Facebook page. We're in the process of interviewing people from, the Mitra Rays and Carrie Daigles of the Juice Plus world, all the way down to your virtual franchise that has been in the business a month, because we want everybody's perspective. And, what we're hearing across the board is, one, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, so it does take time. Two, if you sign up for Soundboard, it does not mean every time you tweet that somebody's going to ask you to buy something. But what it does is, if you combine our training with having that content and knowing the content's always there and that it's got your back, we're finding people have so much more comfort on the platforms to go out and to make these connections and to be themselves and to talk and to provide information. And so you're going to find that you will pick up, especially on Twitter, you will pick up new followers. You will pick up organic traffic that you wouldn't have otherwise. But we can only take you so far, we can only take you so far down the road of conversation. And so what we want to follow up with, and that's the other thing that Carrie mentioned, and it can also be found at the Facebook page, is our ongoing training series that we do week by week. And again, we're building something really big that I can't quite talk about yet, but we're going to announce at conference that I think will be the missing piece in the I don't know what to do with the X, Y, or Z with social media. And so there's a lot of resources there. The other thing is on Soundboard, when you are on the Soundboard itself, where'd my tab go? There is a help center up here. And we have lots of articles and walkthrough videos on how to do things, and not just with the Soundboard, but Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, those kind of things. There's a lot of helpful articles there. So lots of resources at your disposal. I have talked a lot. Anybody have thoughts, comments, questions?
I do, James.
Sure.
Okay, so kind of feels like the fire hydrant, in the mouth thing right now.
Yep.
So this was awesome.
Good, thank you.
First place to start probably would be, where do we go in and start our training if we were to do this as a team or individually?
So
Facebook trainings?
Yes, go to the Facebook page and look for our
How do we
past.
get there?
I'm going to send you a link.
It's this one right here,
Thank you.
facebook.com/Healthy Living Soundboard.
Okay.
And we have all of our testimonial interviews there. We have past recordings, training recordings, and then event announcements about upcoming trainings.
Great. And if we wanted someone to work with us, then how would we do that? Like, we're going to start this training. It's a 5-week course, once a week for 5 weeks, whatever. Or do you guys have people available for that? We want to go into our next conference feeling like we're a little bit ahead of the game versus this is brand new. Because when you go to a conference, you walk out with your eyes looking glazed over like you've just been hit by a truck.
Sure. So I tend to run those trainings. If we can get, a guaranteed 20 people on there, I'll be happy to set something up for your team. If it's going to be a smaller number than that, then I will directly send you the recordings of what we would have gone through, and then, connect people with us through this email, or you can box me, if people have specific questions. So that's kind of,
Or some team leaders will combine.
yeah.
Right?
So, that's what I was going to say is I have multiple iterations of this series going right now, and I'm about to start another one on April 4th with Jamie Kinsey and her team. But my webinar Zoom seats 500 people. So if you want to join an existing series, I can certainly put you in give you those times when those are happening and those Zoom numbers, and you could just hop on.
Okay, that might be very useful. Girls, do you think that would be useful?
Yes, yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Well, the Jamie's is the next one that's going to start, that hasn't started yet, and hers is going to be Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Central. So if y'all are on the West Coast, that's not too late for you, but that might be smack in the middle of bedtime. So I don't know if y'all have small kids.
And then will those be recorded?
Those will all be recorded. Yep.
Okay, great. So we could maybe get the link to the recording as well.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. And yeah, there's a good possibility we can put one together. One thing I would find very helpful, I know depending on the size of the screens, like I have a laptop in front of me, half of the screen is cut off a lot of the time. So I will manually scoot things over, and that probably messes it up for others. I don't know. But to also have the pointer there and saying step by step, if you want to download the mobile app, click on this, and you have your little red firecracker pointer and you show us where to go. I know that's very helpful.
Okay.
Having that pointer and giving a step by step where to go, just action steps, like step 1, go to here, step 2, go to here.
Okay. Yeah, can do.
Yeah.
Girls, do you have any other questions? Tess and Lise?
Oh, I'm good. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Hold on.
Yeah, very, very helpful.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank y'all for joining us today.
Thank you.
And Cindy, if you'll just Vox me, and we'll go from there. And I can hook you up with all of the Zoom IDs for the training series, or however y'all want to proceed. If you want to do your own.
Okay, I'll call you right back. Bye.
Most welcome.
Okay, that sounds really good. Let's see. So finding you on Voxer.
Yes, I'm James Ketchum, Ketchum, like ketchup with an M.
Got it?
750.
James Ketchum 750.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, great.
Thank you, James.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, appreciate both of you getting on the call with us. Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
And Cindy, I'll send you the recording of this today if that would be helpful as well.
Okay, great. That's great, James.
Okay.
Thanks, Mary.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.